Hi. So today the theme is beginner's mindset compared to an expert's or professional mindset. Not professional, expert mindsets. Because uh, this the two extremes are like timeless aspects of the human experience where you may be really you may be really effective and good at some things, but there will always be things that you're you're just a fucking beginner. And the whole inspiration for this vlog has been the general observation that once people reach a certain age or are old enough, they they tend to feel irked or have resistance toward starting all over again in an analogy of doing something new. And I have a funny feeling that that same pattern may also exist in me because I still remember when I was 10, 11 years old that I thought uh, waiting until I am in my 20s would take a long time. But uh, it's thinking about that thought back then, uh, it seems like time has passed very quickly. It's like I can still um, relive that moment. And and going back to the topic of beginner's mindset versus expert mindset, um, there's a lot of value in remaining a beginner in from the perspective of having a beginner's attitude, because uh, when you're a beginner you hold no expectations of the moment. um, the nature of ourselves as self tends to be more an empty phenomenon than it is a full or complete or 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 satisfied uh, phenomenon. Like it seems like that hub that is ourselves that branches out to, let's say, 30 spokes of a wheel, and yourself is the hub. It seems like the spokes as the points of knowledge and information are in a way justifications personalized to make ourselves feel like we know something or feel or have some comfort within being certain that I know something about the world that is valued by money, that people value about me. And uh, the hub that is ourselves tends to be something like great perfection, which seems chipped or great. It's it's like our self, that point of awareness is tends towards emptiness and stillness, and doesn't need to carry around knowledge and information like a briefcase to to have a multitude of tools as points of knowledge to dissect and analyze and come to conclusions. Like our self, that point of awareness is so fundamental and basic that there's there's the phenomenon of direct seeing, which poses a sustainable alternative to the knowledge and information approach, where just by being so completely here with another person and hearing their voice and the contents of what they're saying and how they are saying it, uh, it's like it can be like walking lifetimes, because I've had moments in my own process where just applying myself in one day, one entire day, felt like really long. It felt like I moved a lot of information. And that's the sort of potential and alternative that awareness, which is an empty thing and a still thing. And and there are various reflections of the self, like um, being content and not showing, displaying, or bragging about what you see, and and yeah, that's about it. And the problem with the expert's mindset is that common side effect of being an expert is that common side effect is getting full of oneself, developing an ego around an activity, a specific activity or a specific area of expertise. And it reminds me of the whole process of growing up into an adult, where eventually, as an adult, as you grow older, you tend to want something to hold on, something to lean on, as those pop songs would often say, something to lean on. And it's like the fear of being naked and exposed, and being exposed by others as ignorant. That fear is so that builds up to such a climax that by the time we're adults, we default to what we already know and make a whole personality around what we know, instead of growing, developing, expanding how we live, and not placing the definition of a benchmark to how much knowledge we have, but rather the benchmark of our effectiveness be in how we live and how we give to others as I would like to receive, and doing unto my neighbor what I would like to be done unto, which is easier to say than it is to actually do, because of these roughly emotional debts and emotional checks and balances that seem ingrained into us in a form of fuzzy logic. It- and that reminds me of how we sit in the mind in this blind hope and faith and belief, where we almost tell ourselves if we that we are negative if we ever question the mind as that point of faith, belief, and hope, sort of like a religion, the religion of self. And and observing my elders as those role models, let's say, um, it occurs to me that the implication of this statement life is the only real value. It it means that all knowledge is not life because it does not support all life eternally. It's more like a fashionable statement, the knowledge. And obviously, it's much more effective and potent to uncover and discover those timeless aspects about the human experience where it doesn't matter if it's new or not as long as it's effective. and and the self as that point of awareness is one of those timeless aspects of the human experience. So that was a pretty good conclusion. That's all I have for now. Thanks. Bye.